Today, we wanted to talk to you about RPS, what RPS has done to get ready for spring market. We'll review the agenda, and then I'm going to pass it over to Corey Connor, our Director of Appraiser and Client Success, to explain the changes in the Operations Center to help RPS prepare for spring market. So we're going to take a look at the success team transformation, logging delays, talking about one of my favorite products, RealView, and then at the end, we're going to take some questions. So for now, I'm going to pass it over to Corey.
Thanks, Barend. Hi, everyone. Appreciate the invite to the first webinar of 2022. I'm Corey. I'm responsible for the success teams here at RPS, which were formerly the operations teams. But before we get started, I really want to take advantage of the opportunity while we have you on the line to extend, a sincere thank you to each and every one of you, especially over the past few years and certainly through the crazy spring market of 2021 for all your support and partnership. We couldn't have made it through without you. And I know it's particularly insane for anybody in the real estate market last year, but especially for appraisers as you had to change how you do things and move from regular full appraisals to modified full appraisals and get those pictures and information from homeowners, as well as all the things that come with the significant volume. And but I think most importantly, for the fact that you left your homes and you left your offices each day to complete those drive-bys and external inspections, through the pandemic while you're trying to protect yourself and your families and friends from COVID. So I just wanted to say, from our team to your team, thank you very much. It means a lot. I'm here today, as Barend said, to really talk about the operations transformation to the success team. And that's really, what does that mean for our appraisers, our clients and our employees to really further and foster that support and partnership. RPS is committed to appraiser success for 2022, and this operations transformation is really a part of that. So Laura, you can go to the next slide, please. So over the next few slides, I want to introduce you to some of the folks that are really supporting you here at RPS and put some faces to some names that you've talked to throughout the years, or maybe some new faces that you'll be talking to, in the coming days. So the first slide here is really the leadership team on both the success team side as well as appraisal services. And I'm sure there are some familiar faces here. We'll start over on the success team. So you'll see myself there as the Director of Appraiser and Client Success. And really the success team is fundamentally responsible for in-progress order management. So, we really want to look at those orders from the time an appraiser accepts it till the time of final completion. I've been with RPS now for 14 years. I don't know where the time has gone, but I have Paul and Alex reporting to me. Paul Monkman was recently promoted to Manager of Appraiser and Client Success. Paul's been with us now for 13 years, has a wealth of real estate knowledge, having been a real estate a real estate agent, I might say, although he sometimes probably feels like an appraiser. Paul used to be responsible for the quality specialist team. We have Alex as well, that is in a new lead learning and development role, and we're super excited to have created this role as a part of our success transformation. This is really a commitment to build the tool set of our employees. Alex has been with us for about 11 plus years, and I think has been in every role in the organization on the operations side. And he recently completed a appraiser communication and soft skills training, and as well as engaging internal folks, he did reach out to some appraisers for their feedback as well. And we really want to do more of that. I think that collaboration between RPS and the Appraiser Network is really important. Like, what are some of the things that we're doing well? What are some of the things that we need to start doing differently? A part of that appraiser success is really, looking at, how we're communicating with you, how the team can do different things. We'll get more into that over the coming slides. Reporting to Paul is Keats and Suzette. So the success team is really broken up between the appraiser success team and the client success team. So Keats, who's been with us now for 16 years, and I know he's a fan favorite among many of the appraisers, having worked with them in all different positions within operations. He is now the team lead of the Appraiser Success team. And Suzette, her 20th anniversary was this month, so she comes to us and has a wealth of customer experience knowledge. Suzette also had many positions within operations, but most recently was responsible for the assignment team, as well as been integral in building our broker support team as we continue to build our broker network. On the appraisal services side, I'm sure lots of familiar faces, Stephen Otto as the head of appraisal services and network. Reporting to Stephen is Barend as, hi Barend, Senior Manager of Appraisal Relations. Barend has the area network managers, which you guys all talk to on a regular basis, Liette LaFrance and Dorinda Fabian, as well as Barend. He also has the appraisal quality reviewers and onboarding specialists for contract administration. We have David Lowen, who's the staff appraiser supervisor, and all our staff appraisers report into David. David's in Calgary and certainly experienced appraiser as well. And we have Hermina Bertosen, who stepped in as a part of the transformation to help manage the assignment team. The assignment team used to be under operations, now is under appraisal services, really focusing on that order creation to assignment. And Hermina has recently brought on board Shujan, who is the new team leading the assignment team. So I think the whole purpose here is really to showcase, we have a lot of experience here at RPS. On the success side, we're not appraisers, we do not pretend to be, but we certainly have the support of appraisal services to help us to support you in what you do every day. So we'll go on to the next slide. So now we're going to break out into some of the individual teams. So here's our appraiser success team. As I mentioned previously, Keith is the team lead here, and he certainly has a team of strong, diverse women. Of this team, 60% of these ladies are bilingual. Most reside in Ontario, but we have people in Western Canada and Calgary to help with our Western appraisers. The fundamental role of the appraiser success team is to deal with the labor order management. I'm sorry, I'm hearing a little bit of echo here. Really about reducing the appraiser gross turnaround time and reducing calls over work in progress. So what they're trying to do is to really get you the information you need to get those appointments complete. We're also, also talking to clients, but we set expectations with them. When clients call us, naturally that will generate some sort of communication to the appraisal network. And we're really trying to streamline those communications. We're bundling orders by vendor ID or by firm. So for example, one firm has about 20 orders, then we're looking at those orders and saying, okay, we need to call the firm maybe on these 5 jobs and making one outbound call to try to reduce those calls and emails, because we know that you get calls, whether system generated or from the team. So we're really trying to streamline those processes. And a part of the Appraiser Success Initiative in 2022 is really to review those notifications. We're not being counterproductive here, so when you call you know why. But I think it's also important to note that, when the Appraiser Success team is calling, if you have any questions or if you have any orders that need to be addressed, have those conversations at that time. And if, the Appraiser Success specialists don't have the answer, then they'll take away. So we're all about feedback. We want to hear from you. Please, talk to the manager, let us know, and we're always striving for continuity. So we can go to the next slide. So the second half of the client success team, and as mentioned previously, it's led by and these are our most experienced employees. And I know that you have probably have talked to these folks, many times, especially Tess and Kylie. I think the average tenure of these employees is around 14 years. And right now, they're really taking care of all clients appraiser interaction. So anytime you call into RPS, most often you're going to get success team, and their key success metric is one service. So we really want to try to resolve your issue on that first telephone call or in the first email. And I know that, you know, while we've all been here for a number of years, I think every time I help out, there's always some weird and wonderful situation that happens with some sort of property. So they're continuously, you know, leaning on the appraisal service team as well. And percent of these folks are bilingual, you know, here to service both our English and French appraisers. And if we go on to the next slide. So the assignment team, as I mentioned earlier, has kind of come out of our operations team and into appraisal services and responsible for order creation to assignment and acceptance. And this team is really dealing with those orders that fall outside of the new assignment engine, and also dealing with fee approval. So they're some new faces on this team, but similar to Keith, I know many of you know Barend and have talked and worked with him over the years. Parveen has been here for a number of years as well, most often working with those appraisers in Quebec. But we have George and Maud and Jackie that joined us in the first quarter of 2022. And as I mentioned earlier, Sue Jan is the team lead, and he joined us in December of 2021. So I think overall, you know, the assignment team is kind of working, you know, in the appraisal life cycle of an order from order and then the success teams are taking over dealing with that investor management to report. And this is just an overview and a highlight of those teams here here to support. I really encourage you, you know, to provide that feedback. We always want to do better. And, you know, I think one of the things that really helps us are in the appraiser portal and booking delays and adding commentary to the order. That really helps us set expectations so that, you know, they're not necessarily telling us what dates they are already on. So I'm going to actually hand it over to Barend now, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the delay. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Corey, for that. So we've done webinars on this topic in the past, but we thought that it would be good just to review some of the information again. So we're going to take a look at the delays and the turn times. So I think it's important that you know how you're being measured. And I know that we used to put out scorecards, and we have told you in the past that we are working on it, and we really are. We will have new scorecards ready soon for the network. So we look at two stages. We look at what's called the GTAT. That's when the order has been created to when the report's been uploaded, and that does not back out any delays. Some of our clients want reporting on no delays backed out, and other clients want reporting based on certain delays being allowed to be backed out. So the net TAT is the adjusted delay. That is where we back out delays that are caused by the applicant and or the lender, such as you're waiting for a purchase and sale agreement, you're waiting for photos. So those type of delays are backed out of the turn time. Laura? So here are just some of the most common delays that we have talked about in the past. So the lender applicant delays is you've left a message and you're waiting for a call back. You're waiting for additional information from the lender, such as the purchase and sale agreement, and you're waiting for the photos from the applicants. So those type of delays are all backed out of your turn time. And then there are delays that are caused by appraisers. The appointment is booked at the appraiser's availability. The comparable analysis is more complex. You need a little bit more time to complete the report. And sometimes, you know, although we get amazing feedback that we have some of the best forms in the industry, we do occasionally have a technical bug, and I know that that can delay you from uploading a report. So as Corey mentioned, if the delays are logged in the appraiser portal, then her teams can clearly see that the file's being delayed for a specific reason, and then they won't need to reach out to you because it's in the event history. And a lot of the delays that you log, if you're specifically looking for additional information, those delays are then triggered directly to the lender and or broker so that they get a notification that you need something. So you can, and when you look at your pending assignment, if you look at that little eye icon, the support, if you click on that, that'll take you directly to the delay page in the appraiser portal, or for the box below that where you see the light blue tabs, you see one that says delay/quote. When you click on that, you'll see that the drop down automatically defaults to delay, and then you can choose your delay from the drop down. We have gotten feedback in the past that we maybe need to make some changes to our options, and we have heard you, and we are making some changes to that over the next few months. So some of the delays, as I said, get backed out of the turn time. And here is just a list of some of the delays that do get backed out of your turn time. So it's really important that you log your delays in the system. It shows that I've said this before, sometimes when there is no delay logged or nothing logged in the event history, and the lender takes a look because they can see, then in the absence of information, they think that their file's not being worked on when it really is. So by logging the delay, it also lets the lender, broker, client know that you are working on their file. So it is important that you log your delays. Okay, my favorite product, RealView. And, while COVID is starting to end, I just want to, we did create the RealView app to help appraisers get photos safely during this time. I know that there are several firms that I have talked to that have said this product is amazing and they don't understand why everyone is not using it. Laura? It's easy, it's secure, it's a mobile web portal. The photos are digitally tagged for security. My favorite feature is it pre-populates it in the report for you. So yes, you can get the applicants to do this, but for the appraisers that are doing internal inspections, you can use the RealView yourself. Take the photos of the subject property, hit the complete. When you get back to your office, your photos are already in your report in the photo library, and then you just choose the ones that you want to use by dragging and dropping them over. And we do keep this updated for security reasons. Laura? So it just to highlight, to show it again, once the photos have been taken, you've hit complete. As you can see there in the screenshot, all the photos are right there, and you just drag and drop them into your report, and you can drag and drop them into a file folder if you want to as well. Mm-hmm. Has anyone tried RealView? I know Laura was asking that in the chat.
I know, Barend, like we get calls and emails, from lenders saying, hey, the applicant has been trying to send their photos, and they notoriously try to send these files that are so big that, I was talking to an appraiser the other day, and he was saying that they sent the files, they were so big that they sent them like in the end of December and January, and they only went through like at the end of February, beginning of March. They were so big. He had already resolved it long ago, but we're more than happy to reach out to the lenders to get an email address. I know that's one of the challenges, is that we don't often get the homeowner's email address, but we can easily get that for you to make it easier on the RealView side.
So I just encourage everyone to give RealView a try. As I said, the applicants can use it, but as appraisers, you can also use it when you're going back to doing interior inspections. So we're going to open up the floor now to see if anyone has any questions.
Barend, there's a couple of questions so far. Do you want me to read them out to you?
Sure, please.
Okay, good. And then, by the way, we just had someone who used RealView today. So we had a couple of people say no, and a couple of people say that they have used it. There is one question specifically about where do they get the app for RealView. So maybe do you want to take a minute and talk about how they access it?
How you access the app. Okay, if whoever's asking that can contact me directly, I can send the instructions.
Yeah, and just for clarity, it's not actually an app. It's web-based. There's nothing to download. Yes. So it's just a link. So it's really simple for you and simple for the applicant as well.
Yes.
There is another question here around delays, if that's okay, specifically around technical difficulties. And it says, why would delays due to technical difficulties be ascribed to the appraiser rather than a metric that tracks delays due to RPS? So,
and that is an amazing question, and that is one that I can take away and discuss with our group. Quite possibly, we will have to take a look at that one and attribute it to us, because you're right. It's not because usually it's a forms issue, and it should not necessarily affect the appraiser's turn time. And I will take that away and discuss that.
Great. And then there's, I'm going to say 5 more questions about how to access RealView. So people are really excited. I've never seen so many questions like this. And how do I get the link, or how do we access it? So this is terrific. We'll send an email out to all the participants afterwards with instructions on how to access it. But Barend, from what I recall, if you go into the actual order, the link for RealView is right there.
Right there.
All they need is that link and the pin that's in the order and the postal code.
And the postal code, yes.
And they can access it from any device, any phone, mobile, tablet, etc.
Correct. And if anyone wants me to do a demonstration of it, reach out to me and I can show you where to find it in the appraiser portal.
Great. We have a bunch of things. Here's a question specifically about RealView. Does it resize the pictures?
That's a good question. I believe that it does, but we'll take that one away and make sure that I get you the absolute correct answer on that.
And do you have to get a new link for RealView for each order? I know the answer to this one, Barend, but I'll leave it to you.
Yes, there is a new link associated with each order.
Oh, see, I would have answered it differently, so I'm glad you answered it. I thought it was the same link, but a different pin for everybody.
Yeah, the link is, so you are correct, Laura. It is the same link, but yes, they have to use a different pin and they have to use a different postal code. Yes.
Okay. So I guess to that point is, if you'd like RealView, which we hope you do, bookmark it and then just get the pin, so it's easy. Any questions for Corey and the support teams and the transformation and how they can help you guys? Here's a suggestion that's coming through for us, I think, to tell the lenders is please ensure that the contact cell phone numbers are provided to facilitate contacts using text, which is interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
When we do, sorry, Corey, when we do these type of webinars, or if our account executive team do these type of things with their lenders or brokers, the one thing we stress the most is please give us as many contact numbers, emails, whatever you can give us. It's going to speed up the process. We stress that with our clients all the time.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
We have a very chatty group saying lots of thank yous and sending out how much they like working with our team. So I'll just say thank you on your behalf. A couple more questions coming in and some comments. Some of these might be some one-offs, but someone's saying that they're not getting emails to tell them that they have an order pending. Do you want to talk about how that process works a little bit, or do you want this to take this as a one-off follow-up?
Yes, if you could let me know who's asked that question. You know, If you're not getting your email notifications, please let me know, and I can, I will work with IT on that. Also, just, check your junk or spam just to make sure that it didn't go there.
Okay, I have another question. Why is the legal description not included in the order?
Well, that one is really up to the input that. So I think we're dependent there, but there are some opportunities, as we, look at what our initiatives are for 2022, we do understand that, some of the fixes have to come with how we get the inputs from the very beginning of the process, and what can we do to improve our client portal and some of our integrations to get that information. So really good question. Unfortunately, we're a little dependent on the lender for that, but there are things we can do to improve that kind of, maybe forces them to put those legal descriptions for some situations. But please reach out to us. We're happy to get those for you when needed.
Okay, I have another one here. I think it's related to getting some messages on the portal about delays, about not booking appointments if after an appointment's been booked within 48 hours. So it says in several cases, I receive an order and book the appointment in 48 hours and then receive a message asking to indicate why it's delayed.
And I do know that there is a bit of a timing issue with some of the emails that go out, and we are working on that as well, if that's what I'm reading into that question correctly.
But it would always be good, like send Barend or myself some individual order numbers, just so we can do some investigation. Always helps to have that when we go to IT.
This is a question, I think, Barend, you mentioned a little bit about the scorecards, and I think this is going in that direction, is will we be getting any feedback about our TATs, work product, etc. on a regular basis? It's nice to get scorecards and feedback so we can kind of discuss it in meetings on how they can improve.
Absolutely. Absolutely. When we had the old scorecards, they would go out to the network. Myself, Dorinda, Liette, we would review the scorecards. We would call firms, talk about it. And yes, we are going to get back to that. As I said, we are working on the scorecards. We also have other avenues to pull data from. If you want an update on how your firm is doing, we can do it right now ad hoc for you, and we can give you some information on how the firm is performing or individual appraisers are performing.
Great. Oh, here's an interesting one. And I know, guys, we're almost out of time. So if you, I think this is the last question that I see. So if you have any burning questions, get them in now. Otherwise, we might actually end on time for once. But this one is, why do your forms have warning messages that come up about things that are not indicated in the report?
So for that one, again, if you could reach out to me, then we can look at the report together real time, and you can show me what error or warning has come up, because the error messages normally indicate that there is a missing piece of information in the report, and then the warning messages are usually driven based upon the client's underwriting rules. So if you could reach out to me, whoever had that question, I'll be happy to look at a report with you, and then we can see what's going on.
And a couple of people are asking for your email address, Barend.
Absolutely. So it's actually when you log into the Appraiser portal, if you scroll down to the bottom of the page, it will have mine, Dorinda's, and Liette's contact information. But for now, it is Barend, Barend .Pols, POLS, at rpsrealsolutions.com.
And I just typed it in for you guys there as well. And also, if you registered for this email, you probably got an email from Barend, so check your emails. So I think someone who had the error messages got some examples in there, so I totally understand
Okay.
It's frustrating, so we'll definitely look into that. But also say I appreciate that you're setting this because we need to hear this so that we can look into it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're proud of our forms, but we're always willing to make improvements.
Here's one. I'm sorry, I'm trying to speed read them quickly so I get the gist of the question. But for a new house that's being built, how do you know if the lender wants 97% complete or just pick it up? Oh, it just moved. Or pick it up even if the house is still not built. I'm assuming to the timing of when the appraisal's done.
Yes, and also look at the terms of reference in the appraiser portal, because there's slight variances between the lenders, and it should be indicated in the terms of reference.
Okay, here's an interesting one just around modified full appraisals. In terms of communicating with lenders, it seems like lenders are telling clients that the appraiser doesn't need to do the interior inspection, but we know that that's only true in the event that they're in a region where Health Canada is saying COVID restrictions, you shouldn't be going in, etc. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, Barend?
Yeah, absolutely. You should be following the guidance from your associations. You should be following the guidance from your local public health departments. I know that there are firms that were comfortable doing interior inspections even at the height of COVID. I think it's a conversation that you need to have with the applicant to figure out everyone's comfort level on doing an interior inspection. We had to kind of ask the lenders to coach their applicants that, during COVID, the appraiser may not be coming into your property to view it, so that we ask them to help set the expectation as well, and that it is really up to everyone's comfort level on how the appraisal is to proceed.
Yeah, and I think a little bit of it is part of our role is to communicate some things back to the lenders as well. So this is good feedback for us to take back. Are you planning on adding a database of comparables into your forms?
I know that has been talked about in the past, and I can take that away to see where we are with that.
All right. I know we're just a little bit over. If you stayed late, thank you. But Barend and Corey, I don't have any other questions that have come in.
Okay.
If you guys send one in while I'm talking, I will send it to Corey and Barend to respond to you personally, as well as some of the ones that we identified as well. But I'll leave it to you guys to close it up.
Okay. And again, we want to thank you for your time. We know that spring market is kicking off. It's getting busy, and I really appreciate you spending this time with us. As Corey said, her teams are there to build partnerships with the network, and we want to thank you very much for all your support that you provide us, and have a great day, everyone.
Have a great day, everyone. It was nice talking with you.